Hey guys, welcome to Commander Lounge. Today I ended up playing two Modern Masters 2015 drafts, and it was it was a lot of fun. It was a nice all day event. It kind of reminded me of the pre-release. It was like more laid back. There was like less people at local game store. I mean, because of course it's a $30 drafting thing. It's not cheap. It's not everyone's gonna be there to do it, but I was able to draft twice. I was almost not able to draft twice. I drafted once the original time, and I think they only said they were only going to do a couple pods and everything, and just do it just once. But because not that many people showed up in the beginning, they ended up running a second one. And I got in with a couple of friends. They were all just like, you can, we need one more. Are you down? And everything. I was like, yeah, I was planning on playing another one anyway. So they locked me in the 8th spot, and and like when I was near the end, I was about to drop out of the first tournament because I wasn't doing good anyways. But yeah, and people. I think like two other people ended up taking my spot. Like somehow it happened by mistake, and somehow fixed itself. Like last minute, I was able to draft, so I had to literally drop the last match I was playing in to go play the. I felt really bad doing that because I don't usually like dropping to begin with, especially in the middle of a match with somebody. It kind of feels kind of I don't know. It feels kind of rude doing that. That's how I feel about that. But I apologize. I was like, listen, Modern Masters, it's a limited print run. I need to take advantage of this. This is only my second draft, so I got to do that. So yeah, I had a good time. I didn't because this was because we were playing for Dragons of Tarkir packs. I was really mainly focused on grabbing money. I wasn't focused on making a big strategy. Even though this first deck I really tried to make blue white affinity works. So this is my blue white like artifact flying, because it's mainly, I think it's mainly like flying, but you do have like an artifacts and Metacraft sub theme to it. So yeah, this deck it didn't do too good, but I'll show it to you guys anyways. So we have Evolving Wilds for fixing, and then I believe we run 4, 5, 6, 7 islands. I mean 7 plains. Sorry, it's a little late. And 9 islands. And then we get into our artifact spells. We got Flare Husk. This is another thing that enables affinity in a Metacraft early. It's because a lot of people forget that it's a creature. It's not just an equipment. It starts out as a creature, so it's very good to have these in your artifact decks. So and also with these living equipment living weapons, I'll show you something that kind of combos well with it near the middle of this. So yeah, we have that, which living weapon, just equipped creature gets 1/1. And we had Mortar Pod, which Mortar Pod was surprisingly good in this deck. It like gave it that little extra reach. Like even though you weren't throwing, like you were throwing out pretty quick, but it would always take care of a real quick problem, or it would, even sometimes it even got a creature out of burn range with just the +1. It was a very interesting card. It did a lot of work in this deck, I think. Like there's one match in particular where like in both did like 2 of the games it just did work. So yeah, Mortar Pod was awesome. Then we had Rune Servitor. I wasn't too big a fan of this. It was an artifact, threw it in. Why not? I hated it. Well, when the other people got to draw a card with me, I didn't like that at all. Then we had Gus Skimmer. These were really good. These were really good cards. I grabbed a couple of these. 2 for a 2/1, and then pay a blue, and then they gained flying. I got a pretty one too. Yay! I had actually in the pack I had an opportunity to grab a pretty one or a non-pretty one, and I was like, why not? Grab the pretty one. So yeah, Gus Skimmer. And I actually picked this one up pretty early, but I already kind of knew where I was at when I started grabbing like some of the other artifacts that are really good. I kind of pushed artifacts the first round. I mean, you guys know I love artifacts. You guys know I've been trying to build affinity for many different formats. But yeah, I kind of pushed it. Like this was maybe like 4th or 5th pick. I mean, I know it doesn't sound too crazy, but I mean, in first pack, that's a little, going 2 colors is sometimes a little crazy, but I did that, so whatever. Never saw this guy at all. Kind of sucked. I really wanted to play him. And then we have Raise the Alarm, just a great 2-drop. I mean, of course, it's in the creature slot because it's not an instant, it's a creature slot. I mean, it's awesome that it's an instant, though, because you can do a lot of combat tricks with it. Then we have another Living Weapon, 3 for a 2/2. Why not? Sure. And these were the other cards that did me work. The one game that I did win, which was the first game, I had, game 1 where I went Cloud Elemental, turn 3 into turn 4 Cloud Elemental. Like, that it actually took over the game, just the Cloud Elementals, which is nuts. So yeah, I had 3 of these. This is real good card. If you get to draft again and you go the blue-white flyers route, Cloud Elemental's your man. You need it. And Sky Hunter Skirmisher, I think I picked this late, and I was just thinking it was real good with the Living Weapons late game. Like, late game, I pay that 4, I put 2/2 on it, becomes a 3/3 double striker, getting 6 in the air. I mean, that's amazing, Even though this was, like, blue-white flyers, I mean, I guess it followed the flying theme, but, it wasn't an artifact and everything. And that's the problem with this deck, is that even though I pushed artifacts, I relied too heavily on flying creatures. Like, it kind of got really wonky, because I picked more flying over artifacts at one point. Like, I was really trying to push artifacts in the beginning, and I think I ended up with only like 9 or 10 artifacts in the whole deck, because I just put so many efficient flyers in, and the affinity part of it, the Metacraft affinity part, kind of just got, washed away with just flying and everything, and it made this deck not as consistent as I should have, built it. And this one, I really didn't have that many money picks that messed me up this draft. This first draft, I kind of just messed up in the beginning. I mean, yes, I messed up my first pick, but that's because my first pick was Splinter Twin, and you can't say no to $15 in one pack. You gotta take it. So yeah, let's keep going. Mole Drifter. I think I saw it once, never really played it. It's whatever, but it's a great card. Don't underestimate this card. 3 mana divination, and it's late game, mid game. I mean, it does something quick, does something later. It's flying, evasive. It's just a great card. Glass Dust Hulk was awesome if you got to the late game, got it out on time, because I think I won a game because of it. I had it threatening real hard where they actually had one of those that artifact magnetic thing or whatever, the one that keeps tapping down for like 3 turns unless you like proliferated a bunch. This thing was always getting tapped down that one game, because I just kept playing I kept playing some artifacts and pumping it up, making it unblockable. It's a cool card. I like it. And then we have Slumber Hover Guard, because earlier when I was drafting and everything, there was a cranial plating that I actually gave up, which is probably really dumb, but I gave it up for the dispatch. But I was thinking, I'll probably see another cranial plating because it's in common, even though I know no matter what it's going to be picked up quick, because it's it's like your decent, like, it's kind of money card, I guess. But the flyers, these affinity blue flyers are so efficient. Like, they really round out the blue-white kind of flyers curve when you have a lot of artifacts and stuff. Like, this card was nuts. Like, this card, the one game I won, he was out there doing its work and everything. And yeah, I ran two of them because I didn't have a cranial plating. I never saw it. Like, it was early too. I had to pick between a dispatch and a cranial plating. I think it was like the first pack. I don't know which pick it was, but it was early. Maybe it was second pack, I'm not positive. But anyways, I took the dispatch over because I needed the removal. I mean, and dispatch is basically path to exile with enough, when you have enough artifacts, which is nuts. So I picked that instead, thinking, that's uncommon. I'll get a common thing. But whatever. Blah, 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 blah. Summerworld Hover Guard, very good if you're going the blue-white affinity flyer route. Very good card. Like, this card is played in Pauper affinity decks in different variations. It's very good. Don't underestimate this card. Awesome. And we have Mirror Enforcer. I think I'm the first person to ever do this in the history of being a magician or a magic or whatever, playing whatever. But I actually had one game where I had to hard cast this. Like, literally all 7 mana went into them, because my artifacts got answered earlier, and then I was just was flooding, and then it finally drew a Mirror Enforcer. I was like, well, this is late, and I had to jam it, tapping 7. I wanted to puke on this card. It made me feel sad. Vapor Snag, great card, not good against Graft Proliferation. No, not good against that. But whatever, it's still a great card. Dispatch, like I told you, this was one of the big cards that was really like, okay, I'm definitely going into artifacts. I'm definitely going to start pushing this, and that's, you know, Dispatch, one white, tap target creature, Metacraft. If you control 3 or more artifacts, exile that creature. Really good card. And Narcolepsy, just, you know, nice way to control the creatures. Mighty Leap was, you know, that way of winning the game out of nowhere, which most of my creature was flying anyways, but, you know, get like a Mirror Enforcer or one of your living weapons up in the sky to do some work. Not bad. I mean, 2/2 is relevant by itself in this, you know, for this card. And Mana Leak, gotta have that one of Mana Leak to control a little bit. And we have Arrest, which, I don't think I even got to use it, but it's great removal, you know. Didn't see an Oblivion Ring, doesn't matter. Arrest does some work too. So yeah, that was my my blue-white affinity flying deck kind of. I mainly call it's mainly blue-white flying with like a artifact sub theme. But okay, so I did terrible with this deck. I won the first game. So yeah, this is blue-white artifact flyers. First game, I faced 3 color tokens. I think it was like Naya tokens. I ended up crushing that. I did so good. I was just fast, like especially with the elementals, the flying guys, the flying 2/3s. I just took over with them. The next game I played was blue-green proliferation / graft. I got my ass whooped. Like that deck was ridiculous. It was perfectly built. It was just, it did what it needed to do when it needed to do. It was just perfect. It was like perfectly orchestrated counters deck. Just completely smashed my face in. Like the kid even ran 2 of the enchantments that proliferate every time he casts a spell. It was nuts, dude. It was ridiculous. So yeah, the next match that I lost to is black red aggro. It was a really close match. I know. Like it got down the end. Like I think it was 2-1 for him, and I think the last match we were both down to like low single digits, and you know, I think we were land to land, and he finally drew into some good stuff. So yeah, the last match was gonna happen and didn't, because I was able to go into the last pod. So yeah, I had to, you know, say sorry to the guy and leave and not play the rest of that, but I probably would have lost that one too. This deck wasn't made fantastic, especially, you know, it was the flying theme and then the artifact, they kind of carried over each other, so that kind of sucked. But yeah, this was my deck. Let me know. This is gonna be a 2-parter because I'm gonna have my other deck tech in my next video, and I'm also gonna show the money cards that I got, because I pretty much broke even in card wise and value wise, because it was $60 because I played 2 drafts, and I pretty much got $60 in cards, and I will show those at the end of my next draft video. So I'll show you that in a second. If you guys want to leave comments on how your Modern Masters weekend went, that'd be awesome. I'd love to know. And yeah, let me know what you guys think about the deck. Let me know, you know, how much it looked like I messed up making this drafting this deck. And yeah, like, favorite, subscribe, and you guys take it easy. Bye.